Tampa Bay is a lucrative market for a charter business, but it's also a geographical trap. The bay is notoriously shallow and wide. In the afternoon, a 20-knot sea breeze can turn the open water into a tight, aggressive chop. But if you try to find shelter near the eastern shore, you run straight into miles of mud and grass flats. This creates a constant dilemma. A deep V-hull is necessary to survive the open chop, but it will quickly run aground on the flats. Meanwhile, a flat-bottom bay boat can access the shallows, but it will punish your passengers the moment you leave the protected canals. The 2022 Parker 2501 Center Console is a specialized solution to these conflicting environments. It features a heavy fiberglass build and a hull geometry designed to bridge the gap between an offshore fisher and a shallow water cruiser. To see how that versatility performs under pressure, we are going to follow this specific vessel through a 14-hour triple charter day. A captain's ability to pivot between these conditions directly dictates their total income and keeps the business running even when the weather or schedule shifts. The day begins at 5 a.m. with a high-ticket mission, running 20 miles out into the Gulf of Mexico for an offshore reef charter. Crossing the bay in the early morning means cutting through that vertical chop. The hull's 21-degree deadrise is engineered to slice through these waves, mitigating heavy spray and jarring impacts that soak passengers on lighter boats. Navigating the main shipping channels requires enough power to clear the path of commercial tankers moving through the bay. The twin Yamaha 200-horsepower outboards provide the necessary acceleration to stay well ahead of the heavy traffic. Once the captain arrives at the offshore reef, there is no need to drop a physical anchor. The 36-volt Minn Kota trolling motor uses a GPS spot lock to automatically hold the vessel's position over the fish-holding structure. To find the fish, the captain monitors dual Garmin displays linked to through-hull transducers, providing a high-resolution view of the reef and the target species below. These offshore features secure a $1,200 morning payout, but the boat's value depends on how quickly it can be prepared for the next demographic. By noon, the deck is covered in bait and scales. Because Parker built these with a no-nonsense utilitarian layout, the captain can perform a complete hose-and-go scrub-down in just 20 minutes. At 1 p.m., a clean boat welcomes a family of 6 for an afternoon sandbar tour near the Cockroach Bay Flats. The grass flats on the eastern shore are a constant hazard for deepwater boats. Running aground here can damage the props or strand a vessel for hours during falling tides. This diagram shows the Parker's advantage. Despite an overall length of 30 feet, the hull only draws 17 inches of water, allowing the captain to safely thread the needle up to the shallows of Beer Can Island. Once anchored, the 9-foot 6-inch beam creates a hyper-stable lounging platform, giving 6 passengers the space to move around safely without making the boat roll. Accessing these shallows captures an additional $600 family demographic that traditional offshore boats are forced to leave at the dock. By 6 p.m., the fishing gear is stowed, and the boat pivots to a luxury aesthetic for a corporate sunset cruise up the Hillsborough River. The heavy fuel burn of the morning's offshore run is over. Idling through downtown urban corridors requires minimal power and very little fuel. This shift in fuel economics drastically increases the profit margin for the evening excursion. Because the boat's clean lines allow it to pass as a premium cruiser, this low overhead trip acts as the final financial padding for the day's earnings. The final tally for this 14-hour marathon is over $2,000 in gross revenue secured across 3 entirely different client bases. That grueling schedule was completed without a single midday stop at the fuel dock, thanks to the 156-gallon fuel capacity. Maintaining this level of reliability depends on a strict maintenance history. This specific vessel is veteran-owned and has been kept to a rigorous, logbook-documented service schedule. This military-grade attention to detail guarantees the boat is mission-ready, preventing costly mechanical downtime. With only 426 hours on the engines, the mechanics are barely broken in, leaving years of factory warranty to protect the next owner's bottom line. Dominating the Tampa Bay market comes down to a single, impeccably maintained multi-tool that performs the work of 3 different boats.